Why it's getting harder than ever to become British. For decades, the United Kingdom was seen as a land of opportunity. Whether for work, study, or family, the idea of becoming British was once seen as realistic for those who followed the rules. But in 2025, that path has grown longer, costlier, and far more complex. With new policy proposals, rising application fees, and stricter residency requirements, naturalising as a British citizen now feels like a strategic long-term commitment. In this video, we explore why it's getting harder than ever to become British, what's changing in 2025, and what you need to know if you're planning to call the UK your home. A more structured and careful approach to immigration. The UK has long maintained a layered approach to immigration, but recent proposals aim to take this even further. In 2025, the government is considering increasing the standard qualifying period for indefinite leave to remain (ILR) from 5 years to 10 years, doubling the time many migrants must wait before even becoming eligible for citizenship. This shift, laid out in the government's immigration white paper, reflects a more cautious approach focused on integration and long-term contribution. It's not about shutting doors, it's about ensuring applicants have spent a significant portion of their life in the UK and have truly settled. While some categories, such as spouses of British citizens, may continue to benefit from shorter routes, for most, this change means a much longer journey. It's a reminder that British citizenship is no longer something granted quickly or easily. It now requires sustained residence, consistency, and a commitment to the long haul. Costs are increasing, and it's more than just a fee. The financial barrier to becoming British has never been higher. As of April 2025, the cost to apply for naturalisation is £1,605, with an additional £130 for the citizenship ceremony, bringing the total to £1,735 per adult. And that's not counting the money spent beforehand. Most applicants have already gone through multiple visa stages, each with their own fees. For example, the skilled worker visa, spouse visa, and graduate route all involve application fees, immigration health surcharges, and sometimes legal representation. These can easily add up to several £1,000s before citizenship even becomes an option. Families applying together may face costs exceeding £7,000, especially if children need to be registered separately. Critics argue the Home Office makes a large surplus on these fees, with naturalisation reportedly costing the government only about £575 to process. For many hard-working individuals and families, these costs feel like more than just administrative charges. They're barriers that make British citizenship feel like a luxury instead of a right earned through years of residence and contribution. Tougher language and knowledge requirements. Understanding British life is an important part of becoming a citizen, but the life in the UK test has become a source of frustration for many. It consists of 24 multiple-choice questions about British history, traditions, laws, and values. To pass, applicants must get at least 18 correct answers, 75%. The problem? Many of the questions are surprisingly obscure. Applicants may be asked about historical treaties, names of former monarchs, or the composition of the House of Lords. Even many British-born citizens would struggle to pass on the first try. In addition, most applicants must prove English language proficiency at the B1 CEFR level through an approved test unless they're exempt. Even if they've lived and worked in English-speaking environments for years, they still need to take this test if their qualifications don't meet the criteria. While these rules aim to promote integration, many feel they add unnecessary stress and cost to an already challenging process. Instead of being a celebration of belonging, the final stage of naturalisation can feel like one more exam to pass, with little margin for error. Longer timelines and visa requirements. For most people, the path to becoming British is a multi-step journey, and it's getting longer. Under the current system, applicants typically need 5 years of lawful residence, followed by at least 1 year of ILR before applying for naturalisation. However, as of 2025, the UK government is considering extending the minimum ILR eligibility period to 10 years, meaning some may need to spend more than 11 years in the country before qualifying for citizenship. These timelines vary depending on your visa. For instance, skilled worker visa holders must maintain continuous employment, meet salary thresholds, and renew on time. Spouse visa holders must meet income requirements, currently set at around £18,600 annually. Students often find that time spent studying doesn't count toward residency unless they switch to another qualifying visa. Any disruption, like losing a job, failing to meet a threshold, or a gap in documentation, can reset the clock. That's why it's no longer just about living in the UK. It's about meeting every condition consistently over many years. Meeting the good character requirement. One of the most critical and sometimes misunderstood parts of the naturalisation process is proving good character. This requirement applies to all applicants aged 10 or over, and it covers more than just a clean criminal record. As of February 2025, the Home Office updated its guidance to state that illegal entry into the UK, even if it happened years ago, may be grounds for refusal. While this doesn't apply to everyone, it's part of a broader trend towards stricter interpretation. Applicants must also demonstrate that they've met all tax obligations, paid fines, avoided immigration violations, and followed UK laws. Even unpaid debts or minor infractions, like driving offences, could be reviewed. The discretion given to caseworkers means the good character assessment can sometimes feel subjective. Two similar applications might yield different outcomes depending on how the evidence is viewed. For most applicants, this means submitting police certificates, financial records, and careful documentation to prove that they've maintained a stable, law-abiding life in the UK. It's not just a background check, it's a deep dive into your life and record. Children and families also face hurdles. The UK's approach to children and citizenship has grown more technical in recent decades. Since 1983, children born in the UK are not automatically British citizens unless at least one parent holds British citizenship or settled status, ILR, at the time of the child's birth. This catches many families off guard. A child born in London to two parents on visas, no matter how long they've lived in the UK, is not considered British at birth. The family must apply for the child's citizenship separately, which involves a £1,214 registration fee as of 2025. There are pathways for children to register later, such as if they've lived in the UK for the first 10 years of their life. But again, this depends on a detailed application and supporting documents. Children born abroad to British citizens are also subject to additional requirements. For example, the parent must have spent a certain amount of time living in the UK before passing on citizenship. These rules were designed to prevent misuse of automatic nationality, but they've also introduced uncertainty for many long-term residents who assumed that simply living in the UK was enough for their children to be considered British. Indefinite leave to remain is not the final step. Many assume that once they obtain indefinite leave to remain, they've made it. But ILR is not citizenship. It grants permission to live and work in the UK indefinitely, but it does not include the right to vote in general elections or hold a British passport. Even more importantly, ILR can be lost. If you leave the UK for more than 2 consecutive years, your status may lapse. Many are surprised to learn this after spending time abroad for family or work purposes. Also, ILR holders who want to become British citizens still need to pass the Life in the UK test, prove their English proficiency, and meet the good character requirements, along with paying the full naturalisation fee. Think of ILR as the penultimate step. It gives you security and stability, but not the legal or emotional sense of full belonging that citizenship offers. To complete the journey, you still need to go through one more process, and it's as demanding as the rest. Planning ahead is now more important than ever. With longer wait times, evolving rules and higher financial demands, applying for British citizenship in 2025 is no longer something to do on impulse. It requires planning, preparation, and foresight. Those who succeed often begin preparing years in advance, keeping records of their travels, staying updated on visa expiry dates, and studying for the Life in the UK test early. Many also consult immigration experts or legal advisors to avoid delays or costly mistakes. A single misstep, missing a deadline, misunderstanding a requirement, or not having the right documentation can delay your application by months or even years. The proposed changes, such as extending the ILR qualification to 10 years and tightening the good character requirements, only make early preparation more critical. Applicants need to think ahead, not just about the next visa stage, but about the entire journey to naturalisation. Becoming British isn't impossible, but in 2025, it's a process that rewards those who stay informed, organised, and ready for every stage. British citizenship is still attainable, but it's no longer simple. With rising costs, longer timelines, and evolving rules, the process has become a long-term project. For those who persevere, the reward is worth it. But success now demands more than patience. It requires planning, awareness, and a deep commitment to the journey. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.